And now, if we switch our attention to the US men's national team players, it was an up and down week. Let's just say that. I think it's fair to say for the American players in the Champions League, we had, Jordan Pefok scoring the winner for young boys against Manchester United. What a moment that was for him. He came on at half time, caused a lot of problems. United were down to 10 men, so he had a few chances in and around the box before he latched onto that loose pass by Lingard and scored the winner. So that was a big positive. But Andy, anybody else really catch your eye? What do you think about Pefok? Because he seems to be maybe just overtaking Josh Sargent as the US men's national team's main man up top.
Well, he's playing regularly, so that's a start. That's already a leg up on Sargent. We'll see if he can translate that towards any kind of international opportunity or form if he does get on the field regularly for the national team. But raise your hand if you had Jordan Pefok as the first American goal scorer in the group stage of the Champions League this season, because you look at Pulisic and Reina and McKinney and even Dest, who I think scored in the Champions League scored a very good goal for Barcelona last season, maybe in a different competition. You think all those players first, and then it's Jordan Pefok against Manchester United in stoppage time for the winner. I mean, it's just an incredible story, and obviously he's a little bit more advanced in his career. He's not quite as young as some of the up and coming players, and so I don't think he gets lumped into kind of the current generation. He is just a guy at a position where we're still searching for answers, and so he has an opportunity, especially in the Champions League, even if they only get 6 games. That's 6 games on a very, very big stage that Greg Berhalter will no doubt see and will take note of, because it's against higher competition than he's going to face the rest of the club season. So if he can show out in those games, he can absolutely make a case for maybe not the starting spot, but some significant minutes when we get into this October window, because Sargent's struggling a little bit. Ricardo Pepi, he was good. He's 18 as well. So there's just a lot of youth. And if we could have a stable hand, maybe somebody who's been through a little bit in his career at that position, I wouldn't hate it.
Nick, what about some of the other US men's national team players? Obviously, some superstars in Reina, Pulisic were injured. Dest was on the bench. McKennie came on as a sub. A few others struggled. John Brooks got a red card. Tyler Adams had a tough time trying to lock down Jack Grealish. What was your assessment of their situations? Because it's been a busy few weeks for these American players traveling over for CONCACAF World Cup qualifying, going back to Europe, league play, then Champions League. It's tough for these young guys.
Yeah, and I'm suddenly even more worried about the backs. And because John Brooks had a bad time with the U.S., he was not good for Wolfsburg the other day. He's been very good for them really up until last month. So maybe we can hope that, not hope, no, you don't want anyone to be hurt, but maybe there's something underneath the surface, right? Because to me, he is the key, especially because Greg Berhalter has kind of leaned on him to have the young guys around him to help Miles Robinson grow. So, I do worry about that. I think just a quick note on the Pefok thing, because it relates to when we talk about these young guys and Ricardo Pepi that Andy mentioned. I mean, this is a guy who's talked about as potentially an AC Milan target in January. This is a huge window coming up for the United States next month. And you need your guys in fine form, but you also, guys like Pefok are going to know, I'll have my chances for a while, but this is a chance for me to seize it. There are young guys coming up. I can lay claim to this. Josh Sargent's probably going to find his footing at some point at Norwich. So this is him in the window for him to become the guy. And I look at Adams. I'm not worried about Tyler Adams. We might be learning that his Swiss Army knife mentality under Julian Nagelsmann last season really should be whittled down to playing in the center of the park, because he got turned pretty well by Jack Grealish. And I also worry a little bit, to talk about that coach, about Jesse Marsch. I think he's great. I think anybody would do a great job to hire him. But where is Leipzig right now? They've had him in the system for a long time, so they know him and they trust him, and he's been bred for this. But is the patience of a big club going to be there for him when you consider, losing big time to Bayern, replacing a club legend and Nagelsmann, and now losing big time to Man City? Where are the expectations? Because they did not replace 2 very good center backs in Konate to Liverpool and Upamecano to Bayern.
Yeah, it's tough for Jesse Marsch early in the season, but they look good going forward at least. They're going to be very exciting to watch Leipzig, that's for sure. I don't think they'll face many better teams than Manchester City in the Champions League this season. But Yeah, a lot going on in the Champions League for American players and coaches. We'll have you covered at Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com, all the latest videos, news, analysis, how to watch these games and the fixtures, our predictions as well. We like to dish those out and look into the old crystal ball. There's a lot going on in European soccer at the moment, domestically and with the Champions League and Europa League and Europa Conference League all starting this week in the group stages. It's been a lot of fun, so we'll keep you covered here at Pro Soccer Talk.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.